Stop. Do not scroll past this. Whatever you are about to do next, let it wait, because your thumb did not land here by accident. This message was not random, and it was not the work of any machine. It was placed directly in your path by the hand of God. At the exact hour He knew you would need it. Chosen one, before you speak one more word about your next move, close your mouth, because something has been listening. Every time you announced your plan, every time you told one more person what God was finally doing for you, it dissolved before it reached your hands. You have called that bad luck. You have called it delay. You have called it a season that just kept not arriving. Heaven calls it a leak, and tonight the Father is furious. Not at you, never at you. He is furious at what has been bleeding out of you through the one wound you never thought to guard, your own mouth. So we are going to do something holy together in the next few minutes. We are going to find the leak. We are going to name it. And then we are going to seal it for good. And your next move, the one you have been aching to talk about, is going to become a deadly secret, kept between you and God alone, until the day it breaks the surface, where no one can stop it. But before we go one step further, I need you to do something small and real. If you can feel even a flicker of truth in what I just said, hold still for the length of this message. Do not consume this like everything else you scroll past. Sit with it, because in the next few minutes, I am going to name the exact thing that has been undoing your breakthroughs. And once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. And that is the point. Let me tell you what I have watched happen to people who carry what you carry. You get the idea. You get the door. You get the phone call, the opening, the sudden green light after years of closed ones. And the feeling is so overwhelming, so long awaited, that you do the most natural thing a human being can do. You reach for someone to tell. You want to share the joy. You want a witness. You want one person to say, "Finally, I am so happy for you." And there is nothing evil in that wanting. It is the most innocent hunger there is. But here is what no one told you. The moment of highest joy is also the moment of highest exposure. The instant a thing is conceived in you, it is fragile. It has no roots yet. It has no walls yet. It is soft and new and utterly dependent on the dark to grow. And you, in your joy, drag it up into the light and hand it around the room. And then you wonder why, 3 days later, the door quietly closes, why the phone stops ringing, why the person who was so excited grows cold, why the thing that felt certain suddenly feels like it was never yours at all. Chosen one, I am not here to shame you for this. I did it too. Almost everyone who has ever been entrusted with something large has bled a season or two of it out through their own excitement before they learned. This is not a message of condemnation. It is a message of protection. The Father is not standing over you with crossed arms. He is standing over you the way a parent stands over a child who keeps pulling the bandage off a wound that is trying to heal. His frustration is love that has run out of gentle ways to say the same thing. Stop touching the wound. So tonight he is saying it a different way. He is closing your mouth, not to silence you forever, not to make you small, but to seal something so valuable that if it leaks one more time, you may not get another one like it for years. And I know that is a heavy thing to hear. Sit in it anyway, because the discomfort you feel right now is the exact size of the thing he is trying to save. Now let me name the thing, because a wound you cannot see is a wound you cannot close, and for most of your life, this one has been invisible to you. What I am about to describe has a name, and once you hear it, you are going to recognize it in 100 moments from your past. We are going to call it the silent leak. The silent leak is the slow, unnoticed bleeding of your spiritual power through premature speech. It does not feel like a wound. It feels like connection, It feels like faith, even. You tell people what God is doing because you believe you are testifying. But there is a difference between testifying about what has already been sealed and broadcasting what is still forming. One is worship. The other is a hole in the bottom of the boat. Here is how the leak actually works, in the plainest terms I can give you. When God plants something in you, He plants it as potential. It is real, but it is not yet manifest. It exists in the unseen, and it is drawing everything it needs from the unseen to cross over into the seen. That crossing takes concentration. It takes a kind of contained pressure, the way a seed underground is surrounded by dark and damp and stillness, until the pressure of life finally splits it open. The moment you speak it out too soon, you release the pressure. You crack the container, and the thing that needed the dark to grow is suddenly exposed to air, to opinions, to the fear of other people, to their doubt, to their quiet envy that they will never admit and you will never see. And that is the second half of the leak, the part almost no one is willing to say out loud. Not every ear that hears your dream is a safe ear. You imagine you are handing your good news to a friend, but you have no idea what your good news awakens in the person across from you. You do not know what they are struggling with. You do not know what they secretly wanted and did not get. You do not know that the moment you say it out loud, a small, cold thing turns over in their chest, and without either of you naming it, a resistance is born. Their doubt attaches to your dream like a weight. Their quiet question, "Are you sure?" follows you home. And a thing that was flying an hour ago now cannot get off the ground. I want to be careful here, because I am not telling you the people around you are your enemies. Most of them love you. That is exactly why this is so subtle. The leak does not require malice. It only requires exposure. A newborn does not need someone to attack it to be endangered by cold. It just needs to be taken out of the warmth too soon. Your breakthrough is a newborn, and every premature word is one more minute out in the cold. But there is a deeper layer still, and this is where the message tonight becomes a warning and not just an insight. Because there is something that is not a person, something with no love for you at all, that listens specifically for your words. The old texts are full of this, and we have grown too sophisticated to take it seriously. There is an interference, call it what your tradition calls it, a resistance, an accuser, an adversary, a thief. It does not know your heart. It cannot read your thoughts. Scripture is remarkably consistent on this point across centuries. The one thing it can do is hear your mouth. Think about that for a moment. The interference is not all-seeing. It is not all-knowing. It works in the dark almost as blind as you are, waiting, listening, hunting for information. And you, every time you announce your plan, hand it the map. You tell it exactly where you are going, exactly what God is building, exactly which door you are about to walk through. And it goes ahead of you, and it stands in that door. This is why your enemies always seem to know. This is why the opposition always seemed to show up precisely where you were most excited and most exposed. You were not unlucky. You were broadcasting your coordinates to something that was hunting you. Chosen one, feel the weight of what this means, because it flips your entire history right side up. Every delay you blamed on God was not God withholding. Every closed door you took as a sign that you had misheard your calling was not a sign at all. In so many of those moments, you had heard perfectly. You simply spoke it before it was sealed, and something moved ahead of you to shut what heaven had opened. The problem was never that you were not chosen. The problem is that you were chosen and unguarded. And an unguarded chosen one is the most raided person on earth. So, what do we do? Because it is not enough to know you have a leak. A man can know his boat is sinking and still drown if no one shows him where the water is coming in and how to close it. So, let me give you the seal. Not a feeling, not a vague resolve to be more careful. An actual practice you can begin the moment this message ends. The first seal is the seal of the mouth, and it is the hardest. So we start there. From this day, you draw a line between two kinds of things. There are things that have already happened, already landed, already become undeniable in the seen world. Those you may speak of freely, because they are past the fragile stage. They have roots. They can survive the air. And there are things that are still forming, still crossing over, still in the dark of becoming. Those you seal. You do not hint at them. You do not tease them. You do not post the shape of them and pretend you are being private. You carry them the way a woman carries a child in the first weeks when she tells no one, because she knows that this is the season of hiddenness, and the hiddenness is not shame, it is protection. I know how this sounds to a heart that has been starving for a witness. It sounds lonely. It sounds like you are being asked to sit alone with the best news of your life and swallow it. I know, and I will not lie to you and say it is easy, but I want to reframe the loneliness, because it is not what you think it is. When you keep your forming thing between you and God alone, you are not alone with a secret. You are alone with God over a thing that only the two of you know. That is not isolation. That is the most intimate partnership a human being can have with heaven. The secret is not a wall between you and people. It is a room you share with the Father, and no one else has the key. And something changes in you when you learn to live in that room. You stop needing the reaction of others to make your blessing feel real. You stop testing your dream by how impressed people are when you describe it. You stop, without even trying, the endless, exhausting habit of managing what everyone thinks of your life. The energy you were spending on the performance, on the explaining, on the defending, on the quiet campaign to get people to believe in you, all of that comes flooding back into you. And that returned energy is not small. It is often the very fuel your breakthrough needed and never had, because you kept spending it on an audience. Let me show you who you become on the other side of this. I want you to see it, not just agree with it. Picture yourself a year from now. The thing you are guarding tonight has grown in the dark exactly the way it was meant to. No one talked it out of existence, because no one knew. No cold ear breathed doubt on it. No interference got the coordinates. And one ordinary morning it simply breaks the surface, whole and rooted and undeniable, and the people around you do not get to witness the fragile becoming. They get to witness the arrival. They do not get to weigh in. They do not get to shape it. They get to watch it stand there, finished, and ask you how. And you will smile, because you will know. It grew because you finally let it stay in the ground. See that version of you clearly. She is not anxious. He is not scanning every face for approval. There is a stillness on that person that other people cannot explain and are quietly drawn to. That stillness is the fruit of the sealed mouth. It is what happens when a soul stops leaking, and that person is not a fantasy. That person is you, on the other side of one decision you can make tonight. The second seal is the seal of the circle. Not everyone gets access to the forming things, but that does not mean you carry every weight utterly alone forever. There may be one, occasionally two, who have proven over years that they can hold your good and not flinch, not compete, not fear. Those rare few are not a leak, they are a covenant. But hear me carefully. That circle is earned over a long time, not granted because someone is family, not granted because someone is nearby, not granted because you are lonely tonight and they are available. Loneliness is the worst possible reason to break a seal. If you are not sure whether someone belongs in the sealed circle, that uncertainty is your answer. seal it. The circle of safe ears is smaller than you want it to be, and that smallness is not a tragedy, it is a strategy. The third seal is the seal of the timing, and this one is the most spiritual of the three, because even a sealed thing has an hour when it is meant to be revealed, and the discipline is not only in the hiding, it is in waiting for the hour instead of forcing it. Most people who finally learn to keep quiet then ruin it at the last moment by revealing one day too early, right at the edge, when the pressure of holding it has become almost unbearable and they cannot resist announcing that it is coming. And that final premature word, spoken at the threshold, is often the most costly of all, because it exposes the thing precisely when it is closest to breaking through, and the interference is most desperate to stop it. So, the seal of timing says this: you do not reveal a forming thing on your schedule, you reveal it on His. And you will know the hour, because a sealed thing that is ready to be shown will feel different. It will feel rooted. The speaking of it will feel like testimony, and not like a plea for someone to believe you. When you notice that you no longer need anyone to react, that is often the sign the thing is finally safe to bring into the light. The need to tell is the surest evidence that it is not yet time to tell. Let that be your compass. Now I want to go somewhere with you that most messages like this never go, because you might be thinking, this is good, I will simply talk less. But willpower is not the seal. If the only thing holding your mouth shut is gritted teeth, you will leak the moment you are tired, the moment you are triggered, the moment someone pushes the exact button that has always made you defend yourself. The mouth is downstream. The real leak is upstream, in the nervous system, in the part of you that panics when it is not understood, that feels unbearable tension when someone doubts you, that reaches for words the way a drowning person reaches for anything. Here is the truth almost no teacher of this will tell you. The compulsion to announce is not a character flaw, it is a regulation problem. When your inner world is loud, when the two halves of your mind are out of sync and firing against each other, silence feels like danger. The unspoken thing rattles inside you like a trapped bird, and speaking it is the only relief you know. That is why you keep leaking even when you know better. It is not weak character. It is an unregulated nervous system trying to discharge pressure the only way it knows how. And you cannot shame a nervous system into stillness. You have to teach it a new way to settle. But here is what most messages like this never say. Everything you have learned so far tonight is true. The three seals are real, and they work. But without the peace that comes next, they will work at a fraction of their power, because you will be fighting your own inner noise with nothing but resolve, and resolve alone has never held a wound closed for long. There is a reason the sealed ones of every generation were people of deep inner quiet, and it was not because they were born calm. It was because they found the thing that made them calm. And that is where we are going now. Do not leave. This is the part that turns everything you just heard from a nice idea into something you can actually live. Let me put all of this in the plainest words I can, with no imagery, so that there is no confusion about what I am actually telling you. The reason your breakthroughs have kept dissolving is not that God abandoned you, and not that you are unchosen. It is that you have been releasing them too soon, through your words, out of an inner pressure you did not know how to hold. That pressure comes from a mind that is not synchronized with itself, a mind in which the analytical half and the intuitive half are pulling in opposite directions, creating a background noise so constant that silence feels like suffocation. When that noise drops, the compulsion to leak drops with it. You do not have to fight your mouth anymore. You simply stop needing to open it. That is the holding. That is what changes. And here is the only question that matters now. You know what has been blocking you. You know the mechanism. You know the seals. The one thing left is how to quiet the inner noise enough that the seals hold on their own. So, the question is simply this. Now that you can see it, what will you actually do with it? Let me tell you how I came to understand this, because it did not come from a pulpit. It came from science that ended up confirming something the sealed ones always knew by instinct. Decades ago, a researcher named Dr. Roger Sperry did work on the human brain so significant it earned the Nobel Prize. What he uncovered was that the two halves of the brain, the logical, analytical side and the intuitive, creative side, operate almost as two separate minds, and that in most people they are not working together. They are working against each other. One half is planning, the other half is afraid. One half hears God, the other half argues. And that internal argument, running constantly beneath your awareness, is the background noise I described. It is the pressure that makes silence feel unbearable and speech feel like relief. And here is the part that stopped me cold when I first understood it. When those two halves come into sync, when they stop fighting and start firing together, the noise does not just quiet a little, it falls away. People describe a stillness they have not felt since childhood. The compulsion to explain themselves loosens its grip. The need to be understood by everyone stops running the show. They report that for the first time they can hold a thing inside without it clawing to get out. In other words, the synchronized mind seals itself, not by force, by peace. Chosen one, this is the missing piece I promised you. Because you are not a billboard by nature, you became one because your inner world was too loud to sit with in silence. Quiet, the inner world. And the sealed one you are meant to be emerges on its own. This is who you have always been underneath the noise. The noise was never you. A neurologist in New York City named Dr. Daniel